Marshall here, getting to know these kids, and then we did the thing. This is the Petersons where we went out to their ranch in Ashland and did the branding and all that. Marshall said, "Hey, we're doing the governor ride. We come down and my adopt-a horse Reggie, you can ride him around the Capitol with the governor." So I thought, awesome, this is great. I'm just, again, I have a lot of respect for these rodeo athletes and as student athletes and what they have to do and how hard they have to work and all the challenges of trying to find places for their horses. And I mean, they have to haul their horses everywhere. They just went to Spearfish, South Dakota last weekend. I mean, it's every weekend they're somewhere like that, and they're great athletes in a high pressure sport, and I just have a lot of respect and admiration for what they do.
What do you know about the rodeo Friday, Saturday? What will people see? Have you been to that one before?
Yeah, I was there last year, and yeah, if you guys want to go, I bought 3 tables. Dirt will be flying on us, so I'll explain things to you the best I can. But what they're going to see is men and women competing in different events, from all the way from bull riding to calf roping and barrel racing, and it's bronc riding, and it's fast, it's dangerous. They do a great job. They were rodeo of the year last year for all the colleges, so they do a super job putting it on. And it's just, I mean, these guys get, some of their events are less than 5 seconds, some are 17 seconds of their barrel racing, some are 8 seconds, so it's very fast and it happens really fast. And they got to learn how to deal with failure really well. So it's great. It's great for our players that they get to see this and be around it, because they get 3 hours to, if they make mistakes, they can fix them. These guys mess up, that's it, next week. So to me, it's a very high pressure mental sport.
What's your favorite event?
Well, I like to rope, so team roping was my favorite. The scariest for me is watching those guys on the bulls, and the bulls win most of the time. And then I think the other event is barrel racing and again, just the girls do that, but it's very technical. Everything has to go right, and their horse has to be really good. And so to me, it's one of the ultimate rider-horse relationships, working together to try to win. But when you rope, there's a rope, there's a steer, you got a partner. There's a lot of things that go into it. Barrel racing is just you and the horse. To me, the analogy, it's like serving in volleyball. It's just you and the ball. What are you gonna do with it? And it's just the rider and the horse, and how fast can they go? And everything's decided. It's like 100 meters. It's decided by hundredths of a second.
How have you related your experience with this and the rodeo team to coaching volleyball and your players?
So the biggest thing is learning how to work with horses, and there's a great book I read called Think Like a Horse, and horses can't communicate with you. They want to do what you want them to do, but you have to figure out a way to communicate with them to get them to do what you want to do. So I've tried to take some of those principles into my coaching, instead of, horses are incredibly sensitive animals, so they sense how you feel, what you're thinking, and that's one of the reasons I think our players like being around us, because it's calming, because you have to be calm. So like Becca Alec, when she gets on those horses, I mean, she calms down. She's a fiery player. You can't be that way around horses. So I'm just trying to be a better coach by working with horses and studying what these guys do and getting those horses to do what you want to do.
So when you got the steer on the video, had you got a steer before?
Yeah.
How many times?
That was my second time. Now.
Second time.
Yeah. Now, I got to preface that by you do a lot of training. So you work on dummies, then you work on just hooking up to a steer so you get the feel of all that. Then you do what's called a breakaway rope. You rope it, but the rope breaks away. So there's a whole series of events you go through till these guys actually let me. I mean, I got my first one last fall, so I went 6 months before I really roped a live steer, because it can be dangerous. And so so there's a real teaching progression that these guys take them through. Took me through.
Was it when you got one the first time? Was it a team or?
It was just it was a team roping, so a healer, and so one of the girls here, the night I got one on that video, she was my healer, Hallie, and she missed, but she was so excited I got it. I think she couldn't throw.
The last fall when you got one for the first time, what was that feeling like?
It's like I said, it's like winning hitting a 3-pointer to win it. You know, it's just because it's hard. It's really hard, and those guys make it look really easy.
What's been the reaction from Central City, from players and fans and Central City people the last few days?
It was. I thought Amy captured it really well. There was great memories for us and great memories for the fans and the people in Central City. It was an epic day, really epic, and it was interesting. Our players were when I went back and looked at the video, I thought, God, I haven't seen these guys do some of these stupid things in weeks. But they were so worked up with the environment, and they were nervous, and they were anxious, and they were trying really hard. So it was a great learning moment for them, especially our freshmen, how to try to calm down and play, and so it was a big time atmosphere, which was great. And I thought Wichita State played really well. They've got a nice team, so it was for the spring match. That was a really nice match. We played them a couple times. I don't know if you were in Grand Island a few years ago. Wasn't much of a match. There was some good volleyball.
Good practice today.
Yeah. Setters at 3. Yeah. Setters at 3. I told them it might be a little late.
Should have rode Reggie over there.
Yeah. They want me to ride Reggie for the stadium match, so we'll see if that happens. But
it's just like that the volleyball coach is hanging out with the governor, right? What's that like? Does that still like have a new feeling to you? I mean, even after all these years that
it's just
where a volleyball coach is?
It's just cool. Dave Heineman was a big volleyball guy, and he was in practice a couple times a year. He would just come watch practice. Ricketts not so much, but I've been on a couple meetings with Jim Pillen as a regent, and then I did a thing in Saunders County back in February, and Senator Fisher was there, and spoke. Senator Fisher spoke, and I spoke for like 45 minutes. He actually just brought it up when we were riding, and so I got to know him a little bit. Had dinner with him there, and so we built a relationship, and it's cool.
Did you do 3 laps or 4 laps?
3 laps. We were only 2, and then he wanted to go another lap.
Done?
Yeah, I think he would have kept going, but they were telling him to get off because he had a meeting. So he was loving it. I mean, just think about it, you're governor all day, and you get to come out and do this. This is like
perfect day.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming out. Yeah.